What if I told you? The most alien life forms in the known universe aren't on Mars. They're not in some distant galaxy that Hubble is pointing at right now. They're 30,000 feet below your feet, right now, in the dark, moving. We've mapped the surface of the moon with more detail than we've mapped our own ocean floor. And in the parts we have explored, we keep finding things that don't look like they belong on this planet. Creatures that create light out of nothing. Creatures that have a brain in every single limb. And one creature, we'll get to it at the end, that might actually rewrite everything scientists thought they knew about how to search for life in outer space. By the end of this video, you're going to look at the ocean completely differently. Let's go. Okay, first let me set the scene. Because before we talk about the creatures, you need to understand where they live. The ocean has layers. You've got the sunlight zone up top, that's where the coral reefs are, where the fish you've seen on screensavers live, where everything looks like a nature documentary. Go deeper. About 650 feet down, you hit the twilight zone. Not enough sunlight to do photosynthesis, but some light still reaches here. Keep going. At about 3,300 feet, roughly a kilometer down, sunlight stops. Completely. You are now in the midnight zone. No sun, no warmth. The pressure down here is over 600 times greater than what you feel on the surface. If you went down without a submersible, your lungs would collapse before you even got close. Here's the thing though, nothing lives here, right? Wrong. Completely wrong. The Midnight Zone is, according to MBARI, one of the world's leading deep-sea research institutions, the largest habitat on Earth. It accounts for 70% of all the seawater on the planet, and it is packed with life. Life that has never seen the sun. Life that has evolved in ways that look, to us, completely impossible. Life that produces its own light, not from the sun, but from chemistry. This is bioluminescence, and it's about to get weird. First up, meet this thing. This one doesn't look like an animal. It looks like a prop from a horror movie. Megalodicopia hians, the predatory tunicate. It lives anchored to deep-sea canyon walls, hood wide open, perfectly still, waiting. If a small crustacean drifts too close, the hood snaps shut. It keeps its trap closed until the prey is fully digested, then opens again, and waits. According to Mbari and the Monterey Bay Aquarium, it lives in the Monterey Canyon at depths of 200 to 1,000 meters. Most of its relatives filter feed passively. This one evolved into a trap instead. Here's the part that genuinely got me. The predatory tunicate is your distant family member. Both humans and tunicates belong to phylum Chordata. This gaping mouth anchored to a cliff in the dark is technically more related to you than to a jellyfish. It's also a simultaneous hermaphrodite. It can reproduce completely by itself, producing both egg and a sperm from a single organism, a self-reproducing ambush predator mouth, on a cliff 3,000 feet underwater. That's your cousin. So why do the creatures down there glow? Here's a number that will blow your mind. According to MBARI, about 3/4 of all life in the deep ocean water column can produce bioluminescence. Down there, glowing is the default. Being dark is the weird one. It's not magic, it's chemistry, a reaction between a protein and oxygen. Cold light, no heat, no batteries. The anglerfish dangles a glowing beacon in front of a mouthful of teeth. Other creatures detach a glowing body part as a decoy, throw it at the predator, escape while it's distracted. But one tiny jellyfish off the Pacific Northwest coast accidentally handed humans one of the most powerful tools in modern science. Aequorea victoria, crystal jellyfish, transparent, glows green. In 1962, scientist Osamu Shimomura noticed a protein absorbing blue light and re-emitting it as green. He named it green fluorescent protein, GFP. Just a footnote at the time. Nobody cared. Fast forward 30 years, scientists realized they can attach it to a cancer cell and watch it glow. Track proteins inside a living body. Watch Alzheimer's plaques form in real time. In 2008, GFP won the Nobel Prize in Chemistry. A jellyfish from the dark Pacific Ocean changed how we fight cancer. The ghost from the abyss. Alright, glowing jellyfish that changed medicine. Got it. What I'm about to show you doesn't belong here. Meet the Magnapinna squid, also called the big fin squid, also called, by the scientists who study it, the ghost of the sea. An ROV operator working for Shell Oil was filming a deep sea well when something appeared in the camera light. His reaction? It looked like one of the aliens from the movie Independence Day. The first video footage of an adult was captured at a depth of 4,735 meters, nearly 3 miles below the surface. And when that footage made it back up, it caused a real reaction. Here's how this thing is built. Picture a squid. Now give it fins that stretch nearly the full length of its body, up to 90% of the mantle length, like underwater wings. Now give it arms, but not normal ones. Its tentacle filaments are 11 times longer than its own body. The whole animal, head to tentacle tip, can reach 8 meters in length. And here's the part that gets people. Those tentacles don't hang loose. They extend perpendicular to the body, straight out to the sides, then bend sharply downward at a 90-degree angle, like elbows. Long, thin elbows disappearing into the dark below. And it just hovers there, in the blackness, motionless, arms out, filaments down. Why? Nobody knows. Researchers think it drags those trailing filaments across the seafloor to collect organic particles, but that's still just a hypothesis. In the entire history of deep-sea research, Magnapinna has been caught on camera only a handful of times. It's the deepest living squid we know of, found at depths exceeding 6,000 meters. Formally described in 1998. First adult footage, 2001. 25 years later, we still don't know exactly how it feeds, how it reproduces, or how large it can grow. The fish that swims like a sniper scope. It looks terrifying, unsettling, the kind of thing that makes you genuinely question whether it belongs on this planet at all. But it's not its size that's scary. This creature is small, about 8 inches long, which is exactly why nobody expects it to look the way it does. Meet Gigantura, the telescope fish. 2 massive tubular eyes, locked straight forward like telescope lenses. It swims vertically, head up, using those eyes to spot prey silhouettes above it against faint surface light. A living scope. Its jaw opens wide enough to swallow prey larger than its own body. One documented case, the prey inside was folded up, twice the fish's size. And here's the kicker. The larva looks so different from the adult that in 1954, scientists described it as a completely new species. The adult had been known since 1901. The Final Boss and the Space Connection, 2020. Off Western Australia, 2,000 feet down. An ROV spots something, looks like a rope. A very long rope. They follow it. It doesn't end. A Siphonophore. Not one animal, but a colony of thousands of identical organisms, each specialized for one job. Together they function as one. 154 feet long, half a football field, drifting, glowing in the dark. The longest animal ever recorded. Here's why it matters. NASA is looking at Europa, Jupiter's moon, with a dark saltwater ocean under its ice, no sunlight, crushing pressure, hydrothermal vents on the seafloor. That's the midnight zone, right here on Earth. If life exists here, it can exist anywhere. The alien world isn't out there, it's right here, and we've barely started looking. So, which one of these creatures would you be most afraid to meet down there in the dark? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. And if this video made you think about the ocean differently, subscribe, because we're just getting started.